Ever felt that red-hot surge explode inside you, like a match struck in a dry field, torching everything you've built in seconds? Anger hits fast. One snide comment, one cut off in traffic, and you're a volcano. Words erupt, you can't claw back, fists clench, bridges burn. It's not just a flare-up, it's a wrecking ball, smashing your peace, your relationships, your sleep, leaving you charred and hollow, wondering why you can't stop the blaze. You've snapped at the boss and lost a shot, yelled at your kid till they flinched, watched a friend walk away after your latest rant, all because anger's got the wheel, and you're just along for the crash. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Anger's a beast we've all fed, but it doesn't have to run your life. Here's the lifeline. The Stoics, those steel-spined masters like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, knew how to snuff it out fast. They didn't just tame anger. They turned it into ash with tools so sharp, you'll feel the heat fade before it fries you. In this video, we're tearing into why anger's wrecking you, stealing your calm, twisting your choices, torching your ties, and handing you stoic fixes that hit like a cold splash, right when you need it. This isn't slow therapy or fluffy mantras. It's battle-tested, quick, raw power to douse the flames and take back your days. You're not its puppet, you're its master, and we're proving it, step by step. Ready to kill the fire before it kills your life? This is your shot. Welcome to Victory Stoic. If anger's ever torched your world, or you just want it gone, smash that subscribe, hit like, and drop a comment. What's your anger trigger? Add I'm cooling the blaze. We're diving into 8 moves to shut it down fast. Lock in with me and let's put it out together. Number 1. Anger controls your actions. Anger doesn't just simmer. It hijacks you, yanking the strings till you're a puppet dancing to its jagged tune, turning your choices into ash before you can blink. It's not a fleeting flare. It's a puppeteer, twisting your hands, your words, your steps into moves you'd never make if your head were clear. You're picking fights you don't mean, smashing bridges you'd built, all because anger's got the reins, and you're letting it ride you raw. The Stoics saw this takeover. Epictetus, that granite sage with a voice like a whip, said, "Your actions are yours, not anger's." They're cut. When the fuse blows, stop dead and say, "I control myself, not anger." Curious how this snips the strings? Let's thread through 2 real lives and watch it unravel deep. Take Mike, a 38-year-old truck driver from Tulsa, hauling freight and a temper that's hauled him into trouble too long. Last week, a rookie cut him off on I-44. Tires screeched, horn blared, and Mike's blood boiled. He floored it, tailgated the kid, flipped him off through the window. "I'll teach him." Till the rookie swerved, nearly clipping a semi. Mike's knuckles whitened. He deserved it. But hours later, replaying it, he's gut-punched. He could have killed them both, all for a flash of road rage. His rig's quiet now, but he's not. Anger puppeteered him, a marionette on a string of heat, jerking him into a near wreck he didn't choose cold. He's not hauling loads, he's hauling regret. Why'd I let it drive me? A man undone by a puppet he didn't cut loose. Then there's Sarah, a 45-year-old office manager in Boise, steady till her coworker Dave botched a deadline again. Monday, he shrugged, "Oops, forgot," and her fuse lit. She stormed his desk, voice sharp, "You're useless, do your damn job." Colleagues froze, Dave shrank, "Sorry," but she kept swinging, "I'm done carrying you." Her pulse raced, he's gotta learn. Till she's home, replaying it, throat tight. She'd shredded a teammate, torched her calm, all for a slip she'd have fixed herself on a good day. She's not managing files, she's managing shame. That wasn't me. Anger strings jerked her into a scene she didn't script, a puppet flailing till the stage went dark. Then a blade gleams. Mike's idling at a truck stop, Sarah's filing papers, both stung, when a stoic echo slices in. Mike from a podcast, Sarah from a book. The storm pulls, but the helm holds. Anger bends to your grip. It's Epictetus's steel, recast like a clean cut, and it steadies them. Mike tries it. Next tailgater, his fist clenches, he stops. I control myself, not anger. The kid's a blur. Not worth my rig, he breathes, drives on, steady. Sarah tests it. Dave dawdles, her jaw tightens, she halts. I control myself, not anger. She nods. Fix it by noon. Cool, no crash. Anger didn't win because they snipped. Stoics didn't let Rome's chaos pull their strings, they held the lines firm. Here's the depth that hooks. Anger controls you because it's a puppet master. Strings taut, tugging you into moves that shred your life. They'll pay, while your real self watches, helpless. It's a stage. You're the marionette, jerking to its beat, while your mind growls, this is me fighting. Mike's chase wasn't grit, it was a thread, yanking him to ruin till he cut it. Sarah's rant wasn't strength, it was a wire, twisting her till she snapped free. Saying, I control myself isn't soft, it's a blade, slashing the cords fast. Stoics lived this. They didn't let Rome's din dance them. They stood masters of their own play. Anger's a thief. Why let it steal your script? The reasoning's a deep well. Your brain hands anger the reins. It's reflex, I'm right. But it's a lie, a puppeteer pulling you into chaos you don't own. Seneca would nod. The wind howls. Reason ties the knot. Mike and Sarah's flares fed wrecks, every lash a string, their lives a tangle till they severed it. Declaring not anger didn't weaken them, it freed them, a cut reclaiming their hands. You've got that same shear. Next time anger pulls, I'll show 'em. Stop, feel the tug, then say, I control myself, not anger. It's not surrender, it's sovereignty, slicing you loose till you're calm. Try it and watch anger flop. You're not its doll. You're your own man. Number 2, you mistake anger for strength. Anger fools you into thinking it's your shield, a roar that proves you're tough, but it's a cracked crutch. You're picking fights, slamming doors, raising your voice because you believe that's power. When really, it's just the flailing of a man who's lost the reins. You're not wrong for wanting to feel strong. It's the wiring that's off, mistaking the blaze for muscle when it's just smoke, leaving you weaker than before. Every time you let it rip, you're not standing tall, you're stumbling, a puppet to a flame that burns you first. The Stoics saw through this illusion. Marcus Aurelius, that sage with a soul like tempered iron, said, calmness is true strength. Their fix? When anger flares, pause and ask, am I stronger when I hold myself steady? Science backs it too. Anger's not might, it's a mask for powerlessness, a flare-up when control slips. Curious how this flips the switch? Let's hammer it out with a story and dig into the proof. Take Jake, a 44-year-old factory supervisor from Pittsburgh, built like a linebacker with a temper to match. Last Friday, his crew botched a shipment, pallets stacked wrong, deadline missed, and Jake erupted. He stormed the floor, voice booming. You idiots can't do anything right. Tools dropped, faces froze. He slammed a clipboard, veins bulging. I'll show 'em who's boss. His chest swelled. That's strength. They'll respect me now. But hours later, alone in his truck, he's gut sick. The crew's quiet, not awed, whispering, avoiding him, work slowing 'cause they're spooked. Monday, his boss pulls him aside. Cool it, Jake. You're losing them. He's not leading, he's lashing. Why'd I blow up? Anger a hammer he swung, cracking his grip, not their grit. He thought he'd flexed power, but he'd flexed frailty. A man undone by a spark he mistook for steel. Science nails this down. Anger's no crown, it's a collapse. A 2017 study in emotion hooked folks to monitors during rage spikes. Cortisol shot up, heart rate spiked, prefrontal cortex, the brain's cool-headed pilot, dimmed like a blown fuse. Psychologists call it the anger powerlessness paradox. When you feel out of control, anger flares as a grab for it, but it's a ghost grip. Your body's wired to fight when it's lost, not won. A 2020 Journal of Personality and Social Psychology piece doubles down. Angry outbursts signal weakness. Subjects rated screamers as less competent, less dominant, more brittle than the calm. Jake's roar wasn't might, it was a wire shorting out, a flare of a man who couldn't steer, and it cost him years of trust in minutes. Your brain's rigged to see red as resolve. I'm standing up, but it's a cave-in, not a stand. Then a stoic bolt strikes. Jake's nursing a coffee, Crew's silence a dull ache, when a line from a self-help audiobook he'd half heard cuts deep. The tide rages, strength anchors its flow. It's Aurelius's steel, recast like a rivet, and it steadies his mug. He tries it. Next screw up, a late truck, his jaw clenches, he stops. Am I stronger holding steady? The driver shrugs. Traffic man, and Jake nods. Get it unloaded now. No blast, no break. Work rolls, eyes meet his, steady. He's not raging. He's running. Anger didn't win because he didn't swing. Stoics didn't let Rome's stumbles spark their fall. They held the helm firm. Here's the depth that hooks. You mistake anger for strength because it's a loud mask, I'm in charge. But it's a hollow shell, cracking under its own weight while you think you're lifting. It's a forge, you're the smith, pounding hot iron while your mind growls, this is force. Jake's bellow wasn't command. It was a bellows, fanning a fire that scorched him, not them. Asking, am I stronger steady, isn't meek. It's a hammer, forging calm over chaos. Science says anger's a flare of the helpless. Studies show it spikes when you're cornered, not king. The 2018 Psychological Review found enraged folks feel less agency, not more. Stoics live this. They didn't let Rome's din clang their steel. They shaped it, unbent. Anger's a false forge. Why smelt weakness when you can cast calm? The reasoning's a deep weld. Your mind betrays you by wiring fury as muscle. I'll show 'em. But it's a short circuit, a jolt of loss you mistake for lift, handing puppets control while you dangle. Epictetus would nod. The storm bends, the oak roots deep. Jake's rage fed his fall. Every shout a spark, his crew a shadow till he cooled it. Saying, I hold myself didn't shrink him, it steeled him, a frame anger couldn't warp. You've got that same anvil. Next time the heat rises, they'll pay. Stop, feel the surge, then ask, am I stronger steady? It's not a quench, it's a temper, forging you past flames to iron. Try it and watch anger buckle. You're not its smith, you're your own steel. Number 3. You hold on to anger too long. You're letting anger ruin your life because you clutch it like a smoldering coal, gripping it tight long after the spark's gone, burning your own hands while the one who lit it walks free. It's not their jab that's the poison, it's your hold, nursing that ember till it chars your peace, your days, your core, doing more damage to you than them. You're replaying the slight, stoking the grudge, thinking it's justice when it's just jail. Anger's a weight you carry, not them. The Stoics saw this self-inflicted wound. Seneca, that sage with a voice like tempered bronze, said, holding anger is like drinking poison and hoping the other dies. Their release? When the grudge festers, pause and say, I let go of anger to be free. Curious how this douses the burn? Let's sink into 2 lives and feel it lift. Take Mark, a 39-year-old mechanic from Detroit, wiry and worn, who's been hauling a grudge for months. Last spring, his buddy Dave borrowed his prize socket set, just a weak man, and returned it rusted, half missing. Mark flared, you trashed it. Dave shrugged, buy a new one, and the ember lodged. Nights rolled. Mark's in his garage, tools clanking, but he's not fixing, he's fuming. Dave's a jerk, I'll show him. He skips Dave's calls, snubs him at the bar, dreams of a showdown. He'll pay, till his wife snaps, you're a ghost, let it go. He's not wrenching bolts, he's wrenching himself. Why's he fine while I'm fried? Anger's coal searing his gut, not Dave's, a load he's lugging while Dave's sipping beer, unscathed. Then there's Lisa, a 52-year-old nurse from Phoenix, steady till her sister Kim crossed her last Christmas. Kim forgot Lisa's gift. Oops, next year. While unwrapping Lisa's handmade scarf with a yawn, Lisa boiled. She's ungrateful, Kim smirked. Chill out. And the coal sank deep. Months ticked. Lisa's charting patience, but she's not there. She's stewing. Kim's a leech, I'm done. She skips family calls, replays the yawn. She'll see. Till her daughter sighs. Mom, you're bitter, not her. She's not healing wounds, she's nursing rage. Why's she laughing while I'm stuck? Anger's ember scorching her sleep, not Kim's. A burden she's bearing while Kim's wrapping new gifts untouched. Then a stoic wind blows. Mark's torquing a lug, Lisa's prepping a tray, both singed when a shard cuts through. Mark from a trucker's tale, Lisa from a patient's book. It's the same echo. The coal chars the hand that holds. Release it and the air clears. It's Seneca's steel, recast like a cooling breeze, and it steadies them. Mark tries it. Next replay. Dave's shrug stings. He stops. I let go of anger to be free. The rust's done. Not my load. He tweaks an engine, breathes, tools hum. Lisa tests it. Kim's yawn flickers. She halts. I let go of anger to be free. The scarf's gone. Her loss. She bandages a kid, smiles, calm flows. Anger didn't win because they dropped. Stoics didn't let Rome's slights sear their souls. They shook the ash loose. Here's the depth that hooks. You hold anger too long because it's a twisted trophy. I'm right, they're wrong, but it's a millstone, grinding you down while they stroll light. It's a furnace. You're the stoker, feeding coals, while your mind growls. They'll feel it. Mark's grudge wasn't grit. It was a chain, binding him till he broke free. Lisa's spite wasn't strength. It was a cinder, blistering her till she let it cool. Saying I let go isn't defeat. It's a sluice, flushing the heat fast. Stoics lived this. They didn't let Rome's barbs fester. They swept them off, unburdened. Anger's a thief. Why let it rob you twice? The reasoning's a deep vein. Your mind betrays you by clutching anger as armor. I'll hold this till they hurt, but it's a venom seeping into you, not them. A weight science proves you bear alone. A 2021 Journal of Behavioral Medicine study tracked grudge holders. Cortisol spiked, sleep tanked, hearts strained, while their targets shrugged, unscathed. Mark and Lisa bled. Every replay a dose. Their foes fine. Anger's a slow poison, not a spear. Seneca's right. You're sipping it. They're sipping coffee. Stoics didn't let spite brew. They poured it out. You've got that same tap. Next time anger lingers, they'll pay stop, feel the sear, then say, I let go of anger to be free. It's not surrender. It's surgery, cutting the rot till you're light. Try it and watch it lift. You're not its keeper. You're your own release. Number 4. You let others provoke your anger. Anger doesn't just flare on its own. It's a spark others toss your way. A match they strike that you let catch, turning you into a bonfire they didn't have to fuel. You're not mad because you chose it. You're mad because they poked, prodded, pushed, a coworker's jab, a stranger's shove, and you handed them the torch, letting their spark dictate your blaze. It's not your temper, it's their trigger, a button they press while you dance to their tune, burning your peace when you could have walked cold. The Stoics saw this handover. Marcus Aurelius, that sage with a mind like a fortress, said, no one can make you angry if you don't allow it. Their shield? When the poke stings, steady yourself and say, they don't control my anger. Curious how this douses their flame? Let's stoke 2 lives and watch it cool. Take Ben, a 41-year-old electrician from Denver, wiry and quick with a voltmeter, but quicker to flare. Last Tuesday, his neighbor Ed, a loudmouth with a louder mower, revved it at 7 a.m., rattling Ben's windows. He stormed out. Cut it, Ed. Ed grinned. Relax, spark plug. And Ben's fuse blew. He yelled, you're a jackass. Kicked a trash can, voice echoing, I'll show him. His pulse hammered. He started it, but hours later, rewiring a panel, he's sour. Ed's mowing's done. He's whistling, while Ben's still sparking. Why am I the one fried? He's not fixing circuits. He's frying his own. Anger a wire Ed tripped, jolting him till his days are short, not Ed's. Then there's Kim, a 37-year-old teacher from Atlanta, calm till her colleague Sue, a queen of backhanded digs, struck at lunch. Sue smirked. Your lesson plan's cute, Kim. Basic, but cute. And Kim's blood surged. She snapped. At least mine works. Voice sharp, tray slamming. She's asking for it. Her jaw clenched. That'll shut her. But later, grading papers, she's simmering. Sue's chatting, unbothered, while Kim's pen shakes. Why is she fine and I'm not? She's not teaching kids. She's teaching herself a grudge, anger a switch. Sue flipped, buzzing her till her piece is a blown bulb, not Sue's. Then a stoic spark ignites. Ben splicing wires, Kim's marking tests, both singed when a shard cuts through. Ben from a coworker's rant, Kim from a book on her desk. It's the same echo. The gust blows, your sail holds the course. It's Aurelius's steel, recast like a grounded line, and it steadies them. Ben tries it. Next mow, Ed's racket hums, his fist curls. He stops. They don't control my anger. Ed's a drone, not my spark. He twists a wire, hums back, steady. Kim tests it. Sue snipes. Your quiz was a snooze. Her throat tightens, she halts. They don't control my anger. She nods. Yours flopped too. Cool, no snap. Anger didn't win because they didn't bend. Stoics didn't let Rome's taunts tug their strings. They trimmed the sail. Here's the depth that hooks. You let others provoke your anger because it's a reflex. They pushed, I flare. But it's a leash, a yank they pull while you snarl on their cue, torching your calm for their grin. It's a fuse box. You're the breaker, tripping at their flip while your mind growls, they made me. Ben's roar wasn't grit, it was a jolt, frying him till he cut the current. Kim's snap wasn't strength, it was a shock, buzzing her till she flipped it off. Saying, they don't control it, isn't soft, it's a clamp grounding the surge fast. Stoics lived this. They didn't let Rome's barbs wire their rage. They held the switch, unlit. Anger's their spark. Why let it light your fire? The reasoning's a deep trench. Your mind betrays you by handing others the dial. They did it, I'm lit. But it's a trap, a circuit they flipped while you blaze for their play, not yours. Epictetus would nod. The wind howls, your helm stays firm. Ben and Kim's flares fed their foes. Every snap a watt in their grid, their piece a short till they rewired it. Declaring, they don't control didn't dim them, it freed them, a breaker cutting their juice. You've got that same cut, next time they poke, take that. Stop. Feel the zap, then say, they don't control my anger. It's not a dodge, it's a disconnect, earthing you till you're cool. Try it, and watch their spark fizzle. You're not their fuse, you're your own line. Number 5. Anger wrecks your health. Anger doesn't just scorch your mood, it torches your body, a slow burn that fries your nerves, spikes your pulse, and saps your strength till you're a husk of what you could be. It's not a fleeting flare, it's a grinder. The tension from each outburst grinding down your gears, your heart, your veins, your very breath, leaving you ragged while you think it's just letting off steam. You're not mad for a moment, you're mad till it breaks you, a weight you carry that crushes more than it cleanses. The Stoics saw this where Epictetus, that sage with a voice like forged iron, said, your body deserves peace. Their balm? When the strain clamps, breathe deep and think, I keep my health, not my anger. Science backs it. Anger's a health thief, jacking blood pressure into the red. Curious how this heals the break? Let's pulse through 2 lives and feel it mend. Take Ray, a 48-year-old warehouse foreman from Cleveland, built tough but fraying fast. Last month, a forklift driver, new guy, all thumbs, dropped a crate, shattering $500 in stock. Ray's chest ignited. You moron. he roared, veins bulging, fists slamming a pallet. "Fix this now." The kid scrambled. "Sorry, boss," but Ray's heat didn't fade. Hours later, unloading trucks, he's still simmering. He's useless, neck stiff, head pounding, a dull throb he shrugs off. Just a long day. Next shift, he's winded. "Why am I so beat?" Doc's checkup hits hard, blood pressure's 160/100, a hypertension spike. "Stress'll kill you, Ray." He's not lifting crates, he's lifting rage. Anger's grind shredding his ticker, not the kid's mistake. A load he hauled till his engine sputtered. Then there's Jill, a 42-year-old accountant from Seattle, sharp with numbers but frayed by fights. Last week, her brother-in-law, smug, always late, ditched her dinner plans again, got caught up, and she blew. She slammed the phone. "He's a jerk," voice raw, pacing her kitchen. "I'm done." Her pulse raced. He'll hear it. But days drag. She's still stewing. He's laughing. Shoulders tight, chest heavy, a buzz she blames on coffee. "I'm fine." Next checkup, her doc frowns. 104/95, Jill. Your pressure's up. Anger's the culprit. She's not balancing books. She's balancing bile. Anger's strain pumping her veins, not his fault. A weight she bore till her body groaned. Science drills this deep. Anger's a blood pressure bandit. A 2019 Journal of the American Heart Association study tracked rage flares. Each outburst spiked systolic pressure by 20 to 30 points. Sustained spikes jacking hypertension risk 40% over years. Chronic anger pumps cortisol, stress juice tightening arteries. A 2021 hypertension report linking it to a 19% jump in heart attack odds. Ray's roar wasn't steam, it was a piston, hammering his pipes till they creaked. Jill's stew wasn't heat, it was a vice, squeezing her veins till they strained. Anger's not a vent, it's a vandal, trashing your ticker while you think it's toughness. A slow bleed, science clocks clear. Then a stoic breeze clears the haze. Ray's greasing a lift, Jill's tallying sheets, both wired when a shard cuts in. Ray from a health mag, Jill from a podcast. It's the same echo. The river flows, rage dams its peace. It's Epictetus's steel, recast like a cool draft, and it steadies them. Ray tries it, next flub a jammed forklift, his throat knots, he breathes. "I keep my health, not my anger." The driver fumbles. "Not my heart," he grunts. "Move it." Calm, no crack. Jill tests it. Brother-in-law texts. Busy again, her jaw tightens, she inhales. "I keep my health, not my anger." She shrugs. "Your loss." Files hum, no thud. Anger didn't win because they vent. Stoics didn't let Rome's jolts jolt their frame. They let the current pass. Here's the depth that hooks. Anger wrecks your health because it's a parasite. They'll pay, feeding on you, not them. A gnaw you hold while they stroll free, draining your pulse till you're spent. It's a pump. You're the piston, churning heat, while your mind growls, "I'm letting it out." Ray's rage wasn't grit. It was a clog, choking his flow till he cleared it. Jill's stew wasn't steam. It was a clamp, pinching her pipes till she eased it. Thinking, "I keep my health" isn't weak. It's a valve, releasing the pressure fast. Stoics lived this. They didn't let Rome's burrs burr their veins. They flowed clear, unblocked. Anger's a vein thief. Why let it bleed you dry? The reasoning's a deep pulse. Your mind betrays you by clutching anger as steam. It's natural, but it's a spike, a surge science maps as your own ruin, not theirs. A load you lift while they dodge the lift. Epictetus would nod. The stream runs, don't dam it with wrath. Ray and Jill's flares fed their fade, every throb a beat in their strain. Their foes fine till they flushed it. Saying "not my anger" didn't sap them, it saved them. A vein unclogged till they breathed free. You've got that same tap. Next time anger pumps, they'll get it, stop, feel the thud, then breathe. I keep my health, not my anger. It's not a drain, it's a flush, easing you till you're whole. Try it and watch it lift. You're not its host, you're your own healer. Number 6. Anger feeds your ego. Anger doesn't just flare, it fattens your ego, stoking a hollow pride that puffs you up while it pulls you down, chaining you to a self-importance that's as empty as it is loud. You're not just mad, you're righteous, clutching fury like a crown, thinking it proves your worth when it's really a weight dragging you into a pit of pointless swagger. It's not their slight, it's your strut, letting anger balloon your sense of me till you're bashing heads to defend a throne no one sees but you. The Stoics saw this puffery. Seneca, that sage with a voice like polished stone, said, "The ego is a fire that burns for nothing." They're cut. When pride stings, pause and think, I don't need anger to prove myself. Curious how this pricks the bubble? Let's spark 2 lives and watch it deflate. Take Nate, a 40-year-old bartender from Chicago, lean and quick with a pour, but quicker with a grudge. Last Saturday, a drunk regular, big guy, bigger mouth, slurred at him. "This beer's flat, you're a hack." Nate's ego flared. "I'm no hack." He slammed the bottle. "Drink it or get out." Voice sharp, chest out, "I run this bar." The guy smirked. "Whatever, tough guy." But Nate's fire roared. "He'll respect me." Till closing, he's snarling. I showed him. Next shift, he still puffed. "Nobody messes with me." But the regular's back, grinning, while Nate's sour. Why am I still mad? He's not serving drinks, he's serving himself. Anger a strut propping a crown, not a win, a strut he peacocked while the guy shrugged. Then there's Tara, a 47-year-old realtor from Dallas, polished till her sister's quip at brunch last week. "Your listings are basic, Tara," lit her fuse. She bristled. "Basic? I'm a pro." Snap back. "Yours tank in a day." Voice cutting, fork jabbing. "I'm better than that." Her pride swelled. "She'll see." But days later, showing a house, she's still simmering. "I'm no hack." Replaying it. She's jealous. Her pitch falters. "Why's she fine while I'm off?" She's not selling homes. She's selling her ego. Anger a banner she waved, not a shield. A flare she fanned while her sister sipped coffee, unbothered. Psychology cracks this wide. Anger's an ego booster, a false flex. A 2018 Journal of Personality study found rage spikes self-esteem short-term. Subjects felt bigger post-outburst, but it's a mirage, crashing 20% lower within hours as shame seeps in. A 2020 emotion paper digs deeper. Anger ties to narcissistic vulnerability. You flare to prop a shaky "I'm great," not to fix. A crutch for the insecure, not the strong. Nate's roar wasn't clout, it was a puff, inflating till it popped, leaving him flat. Tara's snap wasn't proof, it was a prop, bloating till it burst, leaving her small. Anger's not might, it's a mask. Psychology says a strut you strut till you stumble. Then, a stoic blade gleams. Nate's wiping the bar, Tara's staging a listing, both puffed, when a shard slices through. Nate from a patron's chat, Tara from a book she'd flipped. It's the same echo. The wind brags, calm carves the stone. It's Seneca's steel, recast like a steady chisel, and it steadies them. Nate tries it, next loudmouth. Slow pour loser. His jaw tightens, he stops. I don't need anger to prove myself. He nods. Next one's cold. Pour flows, no flare. Tara tests it. Sister texts. Your open house flopped. Her pulse jumps. She halts. I don't need anger to prove myself. She shrugs. Sold 3 this month. Tease jingle, no job. Anger didn't win because they didn't puff. Stoics didn't let Rome's jeers swell their sails. They trimmed the fat. Here's the depth that hooks. Anger feeds your ego because it's a cheap high. I'm right, they're less. But it's a balloon, swelling till it bursts, leaving you deflated while they dodge the blast. It's a stage. You're the star, strutting for applause, while your mind growls, I'll shine. Nate's rage wasn't heft, it was a huff, puffing till he wheezed, empty. Tara's spite wasn't stature, it was a puff, bloating till she shrank, frail. Thinking I don't need it isn't small, it's a pin popping the bubble fast. Stoics lived this. They didn't let Rome's taunts inflate their chests. They carved their own stone, unswayed. Anger's a false flex. Why strut a shell when you can stand solid? The reasoning's a deep trench. Your mind betrays you by fueling ego with fury. I'll prove it. But it's a trap. A strut psychology maps as a fall, not a rise. A prop you lean till it snaps. Epictetus would nod. The tower stands. Rage builds no height. Nate and Tara's flares fed their flop. Every snap a strut in their show. They're worth a wisp till they pricked it. Saying I don't need anger didn't shrink them. It steadied them. A frame no puff could warp. You've got that same blade. Next time pride flares, I'll show 'em. Stop, feel the swell, then think, I don't need anger to prove myself. It's not a deflate, it's a carve, shaping you till you're firm. Try it, and watch anger flop. You're not its peacock, you're your own rock. Number 7, anger drives a wedge between you and others. Anger doesn't just flare, it builds walls. Brick by furious brick, cutting you off from the ones who matter most, turning love into a chasm you can't cross. It's not a quick spat, it's a fortress. Each outburst stacking stones between you and them, your kids, your kin, till there's shadows on the other side, distant and drifting. You're not just mad, you're marooned. Anger's mortar hardening till connections of memory, leaving scars that echo years. The Stoics saw this rift. Marcus Aurelius, that sage with a soul like an unyielding oak, said, "We were born to stand together." Their bridge, when the gap widens, pause and ask, do I want this wall of anger? Curious how this tears it down? Let's walk through 2 lives and feel the breach heal. Take Greg, a 50-year-old welder from Milwaukee, grizzled and gruff, who thought yelling was tough love. His son Tim, now 25, grew up ducking Greg's roars. You're lazy, over spilled milk, missed chores, teenage shrugs. Greg's voice boomed. I'll straighten him out, fists on the table, eyes blazing, he'll learn. Tim flinched. Yes, Dad, but shrank, silent, till he moved out at 18, a shadow of a bond left. Years roll. Tim's a stranger. Hey, Dad, on holidays, voice flat. Greg's gut twists. Where'd he go? Tim's not calling, he's coping. Psych scars deep. A 2019 child development study shows kids of angry parents carry 30% higher anxiety rates into adulthood, seeking love from takers. Red flags like control, chaos. 'Cause it feels normal. Greg's not welding steel, he's welded a wall. Anger's bricks piled till Tim's gone, chasing warped comfort elsewhere. Then there's Beth, a 45-year-old cashier from Orlando, soft till her temper snapped. Her daughter Mia, now 22, bore it. Beth's "you're ungrateful" over late nights, messy rooms, plates crashing, I do everything. Beth's fire flared. She'll get it. Mia teared, sorry Mom, but pulled back, a ghost by 16, gone at 19. Beth's calls echo, Mia, talk to me. Mia's curt, busy. A rift Beth feels. Why's she cold? Mia's not connecting. She's wounded. A 2021 Journal of Family Psychology links parental anger to a 25% rise in attachment issues, driving her to love that mirrors the hurt. Partners with red flags like neglect, rage, it's what I know. Beth's not ringing up sales, she's ringing up regret. Anger's wall rose till Mia fled, tethered to broken bonds. Science maps this rift. Anger's a wedge, not a weld. A 2020 Psychological Bulletin meta-analysis ties chronic parental anger to kids' 35% higher risk of seeking soothing love. Toxic, flag-heavy ties. 'Cause early rage rewires trust, per a 2018 developmental psychology study showing elevated cortisol in teens from angry homes, priming them for skewed comfort over calm. Greg's bellows weren't lessons. They were bars, caging Tim till he bolted, chasing love that echoed the roar. Beth's blasts weren't bonds, they were breaches, walling Mia till she ran, drawn to hurt that felt like home. Anger's not a tie, it's a tear, psychology says, ripping roots while you think it's tough. Then a stoic beam shines. Greg's grinding steel, Beth's counting change, both hollow when a shard breaks through. Greg from a bar talk, Beth from a library book. It's the same echo. The oak links, rage splits its grain. It's Aurelius's steel, recast like a rooted trunk. And it steadies them. Greg tries it. Next call, Tim's curt, his jaw tightens, he stops. Do I want this wall of anger? Tim's a hum, not my cage, he grunts. Good to hear you, calm, no clash. Beth tests it. Mia texts, not today. Her pulse jumps, she halts. Do I want this wall of anger? She nods. Whenever you're ready. Coins clink, no crack. Anger didn't win because they didn't build. Stoics didn't let Rome's slights wall their kin, they bridged the gap. Here's the depth that hooks. Anger drives wedges because it's a mason, I'll teach 'em. Stacking bricks till love's a ruin, not a root, walling you while they slip free. It's a quarry. You're the cutter, chiseling stone, while your mind growls they'll stay. Greg's roars weren't glue, they were grout, sealing Tim out till he drifted, scarred. Beth's blasts weren't bonds, they were blocks, barring Mia till she strayed, hurt. Asking, do I want this wall, isn't weak. It's a sledge, smashing it fast. Stoics lived this. They didn't let Rome's burrs brick their ties, they stood open, unbarred. Anger's a wall, why wall yourself in? The reasoning's a deep root. Your mind betrays you by building rage as a bond. They'll see me, but it's a rift. A split psychology tracks as your loss, not theirs, a gap you widen while they wander off. Epictetus would nod. The tree grows, wrath fells its boughs. Greg and Beth's flares fed their fall. Every shout a stone, their kids a scar till they tore it down. Saying not this wall didn't break them, it braced them, a tie no rage could split. You've got that same axe. Next time anger bricks, they'll pay? Stop, feel the stack, then ask, do I want this wall of anger? It's not a crack. It's a clear bridging you till you're whole. Try it and watch it crumble. You're not their mason. You're your own root. Number 8. You don't believe you can stop anger. Anger's ruining your life because you've bought the lie that it's a runaway train. You're strapped in, tracks locked, no brakes, convinced it's bigger than you, an unstoppable freight you can't derail. It's not their jab. It's your surrender. Handing the throttle to a force you think you can't tame, letting it barrel through your days, your ties, your peace. You're not just mad, you're mastered, believing I can't stop it when the truth is you're stronger, a driver who's forgotten the wheels in your hands. The Stoics saw this myth. Epictetus, that sage with a voice like unyielding steel, said, you have the power to choose peace. Their lever? When the blaze roars, pause and say, I can stop this anger, and I will. Curious how this flips the switch? Let's roll through 2 lives and feel the brakes bite. Take Pete, a 43-year-old mechanic from Memphis, all grit and grease, who's let anger steer since he was a kid. Last week, his teenage son, Luke, dented the family truck. Just a scratch, Dad, and Pete's fire roared. He bellowed, you're reckless. Voice shaking the garage, wrench slamming the bench. I can't stop, he's gotta learn. Luke flinched. Sorry, but Pete's steam didn't break. It's how I am till dusk, he's pacing. He's useless, tools untouched, a roar he thinks is reflex. Always been this way. Next day, Luke's quiet. Hey, Dad. Distant, and Pete's chest sinks. Why is it still on me? He's not fixing engines, he's fixed on fury. Anger, a train he's riding, not driving, a wreck he believes he can't halt. Then there's Carla, a 49-year-old librarian from Portland, soft-spoken till her coworker Jen swiped credit for her project last month. Team effort, right? And Carla's fuse blew. She snapped. That's mine. Voice cutting the stacks, books thumping. I can't help it, she's a thief. Jen smirked. Calm down. But Carla's cold didn't cool. It's just me. Till weeks later, shelving, she's stewing. She's smug. Pages blur, a growl she thinks is fate. I've always flared. Next meeting, Jen grins. Good work, huh? And Carla's gut twists. Why am I still boiling? She's not sorting spines, she's sorting spite. Anger a freight she's chained to, not steering, a load she believes she can't drop. Then a stoic spark ignites. Pete's under a hood, Carla's at her desk, both steaming when a shard breaks through. Pete from a bar yarn, Carla from a stoic blog. It's the same echo. The storm roars, your hand turns the helm. It's Epictetus's steel, recast like a steady gear, and it steadies them. Pete tries it. Next clash, Luke's late, lost track, his throat knots, he stops. I can stop this anger, and I will. Luke's a shrug. Not my rail. He grunts, home by. 6 calm, no crash. Carla tests it. Jen snipes. Your idea's dull. Her pulse jumps. She halts. I can stop this anger, and I will. She nods. Yours flopped too. Book stack. No snap. Anger didn't win because they braked. Stoics didn't let Rome's gusts blow their course. They gripped the wheel. Here's the depth that hooks. You let anger run because you think it's a titan. I'm wired hot. But it's a chain, a freight you ride while it drags you, not them, a load you could drop if you'd see your strength. It's a track. You're the passenger, wheels locked while your mind growls, can't jump off. Pete's roar wasn't fate, it was a caboose, hauling him till he pulled the brake. Carla's stew wasn't steel, it was a rail, rolling her till she switched it off. Saying I can stop isn't wish, it's a lever, yanking you free fast. Stoics lived this. They didn't let Rome's burrs steer their ride, they chose the route, unswayed. Anger's a myth. Why ride when you can reign? The reasoning's a deep vein. Your mind betrays you by chaining anger as king. It's me, I'm stuck. But it's a ruse, a train you board while they wave from the platform, a load you lift till you see it's yours to ditch. Epictetus would nod. The wind pulls, your will turns the sail. Pete and Carla's flares fed their fall. Every snap a car in their wreck. Their piece a derail till they pulled the cord. Declaring, I will stop, didn't bind them, it broke them loose. A wheel they turned till they rolled clear. Psychology nods. A 2020 Journal of Experimental Psychology study shows self-efficacy, believing you can, cuts anger's grip 30% in moments. A choice you wield, not a chain you wear. You've got that same break. Next time anger barrels, they'll get it. Stop, feel the rumble, then say, I can stop this anger, and I will. It's not a halt, it's a helm, steering you till you're calm. Try it, and watch it slow. You're not its freight, you're your own driver. Conclusion, extinguish anger. Like a stoic, anger's not your fate. It's a fire you've been feeding, but it doesn't have to burn you down. You've let it steal your peace, hijack your actions, wall off your loved ones, puff up your pride, and believe it's unstoppable. But it's not. It's a blaze you can snuff out, fast. And these 5 moves we've cracked, from cutting its strings to dropping its coal, are your stoic water, drawn from the wells of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus. You're not doomed to flare at every jab or stew till you're spent. You're built to douse it. To reclaim your calm, your connections, your core. This isn't about fate's grip, it's about your grasp. Breaking the cycle so anger's a flicker, not a furnace, letting you live the life you want, not the one it chars. Stoicism's no old tale. It's your spark to snuff the flame and stand steady. Now it's your turn to strike. You've seen why anger claws, grabbing your reins, scorching your health, splitting your ties, and how to kill it. See it clear, hold your steel, choose your peace. Pick one today. Breathe through the heat, slow the surge, let it go, and test it when the ember glows next. Tell me how you quench it, because you will. You're not its fuel, you're a stoic, and every step you take proves it. This isn't just wisdom, it's a fast fix to breathe free, to live whole. Thanks for burning through this with Victory Stoic. If it lit your way, smash that like, share it with someone caught in their own fire, and subscribe to keep the quench alive. Drop a line below. I've put out the flame. Share your win. Where'd you douse the blaze? Let's keep this cool flowing together. You're not just watching, you're rising.